The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, good Tuesday morning to you, and welcome to the show. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street, Charleston. Texting services provided by Tony the Taylor on Virginia Street. Some dates to remember: November the 18th, the end of Bolt sale with Tony. You can save up to 50% off custom suits and jackets. Tony going to be closed for Thanksgiving Day, of course, the 27th, and the following day, that Friday, the 28th. He will be open, though, for Small Business Saturday on the 29th of November. December 4th, the holiday trunk shows. Come to Tony the Taylor. Check out bestmastertaylor.com or Tony's Facebook page if you'd like more information. Well, hopefully you made it safely where you were going last night or this morning. The roads, in most cases, and again, there are going to be exceptions to this, but in most cases are a lot better at 9 this morning than what they were 9 o'clock last night. Lots of accidents last night, lots this morning as well. Of course, many of you had the day off for Veterans Day, and the weather is going to get a lot better throughout the day, at least as far as the snow goes, not necessarily the temperatures, but by the end of the week, we're in the 60s, maybe even touching 70. Speaking of Veterans Day, I want to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day. Remember why it is we're allowed to do what we do each day, and because of our veterans. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on. Also, tomorrow night, the Charleston Urban Works folks are going to present their annual Urbanite Awards. I am honored to be asked to serve as an MC along with Woody Woods for that particular event. Rick Cavender from Charleston Urban Works is going to join us to talk about that. Dr. Craig Glover, Family Care Health Centers, will stop by as well. And your calls and text. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Let's welcome to the show now our good friend, Dr. Casey Sachs from BridgeValley. How you doing?
Good morning, Dave. I'm great. How are you today?
I am doing fine. Great to have you here. I mean, it's like the third time in a row you've been in person.
Hey, once in a while, that just happens.
It just happens that way. I was thinking about this earlier when it comes to you and other institutions of higher learning. I can remember, 100 years ago when I was in college that at Marshall.
You are 100 years old.
I am. I'm 103. At Marshall, they didn't have as many quote unquote snow days because the majority of the students either lived on campus or they lived like I did within walking distance of campus. So it was very rare that there would ever be a delay or anything like this. We're also talking literally 35 years ago that I was there. So it wasn't that common.
Math was not your major.
Math was not. I was a PR major, so math not my major. All right. So how do you guys handle things at BridgeValley or other? I mean, how do you? What goes into it now? Because so much is online and so much is available now. So how do you handle snow days?
We also rarely have snow days.
Okay.
A lot of times snow days for counties are because little kids are standing outside at bus stops.
Right.
So you want to make sure they're not too cold and that they're safe. But at the college, we actually go off whatever the Capitol Complex schedule is. Okay. We're a state agency. We have state employees. So we go ahead and say we stay open as long as the Capitol Complex is open. If we do close the physical location, we still go online. So it doesn't mean there's no class. It means work directly with your faculty member and say, hey, Dave, what is it that I'm supposed to be working on today? And you do whatever it is your work is online.
I had a feeling you were going to say that about the online thing because, I mean, even in public schools, online learning has ruined snow days for the most part. Now, sometimes,
days.
Well, today's a day off for most county school systems anyway. I think pretty much everybody in West Virginia takes the day off. Not necessarily in other states they don't for Veterans Day, but I think that unless it's like when you had a couple of big snows like we had last year, I think the superintendents and whatnot just said, all right, go play in the snow, go write a paper about it later or something. Go play in the snow. It just is not what it used to. Speaking of Veterans Day, did want to give you an opportunity to say something about veterans.
We are open today. We take Veterans Day off December 29th. But today we have a ceremony for our veterans, a celebration for our veterans on the South Charleston campus. It's a luncheon. We've invited all of our student veterans. We have a local group of Gold Star moms who come in and do awards. We have done quilts before. We've done quilts for veterans as awards. We have actually the West Virginia Veteran of the Year is on our staff, and so she'll be honored today.
Who's
Tammy McClanahan.
Okay.
So we're really proud of her, and we'll have an entire ceremony today.
What time is that ceremony?
Starts at noon.
Okay, what time do you think? And here's the reason I'm asking. I've got selfish reasons here. We were talking. Stephanie Pauly, who produces Metro News Midday, is also producing the local show today, and we were talking about that earlier. About we've got some things already lined up for veterans, but if we could make that work, she would make a great veteran. Do you think you could make that happen?
Come on over. We'd love to have you.
No, we'd have to call her.
Oh, okay.
So. Tell you what, once we break, why don't you and Stephanie have a little conversation there, and let's see if we can get this thing worked out.
Great.
We'd love to have her on the show.
Oh, she would love that.
All right. What percentage of the population, let me just say, is it a large percentage of population of students that you have that are veterans of BridgeValley?
So it varies every year, but it's actually something we're really proud of. We have been honored for years and years now, going in a row. There's a distinction for colleges where you become a veteran-friendly college. Mm-hmm. And so every year we make sure that we do all of the things to get that distinction. It means we have special lounges for our veteran students. It means we have special services for our veteran students. It means we really are an institution that's committed to serving our veterans in some pretty intentional ways. And our director of veteran services is Missy Lair, and anybody who knows Missy just really knows what a passion she has for the population. She could not be better at her job.
Does BridgeValley have an ROTC program?
We do not have an ROTC.
Is that something that you could do in the future, or is it or not?
It's certainly something I would be open to. It's just not something I've looked into.
Okay. All right. Well, you need more on your plate to do up there.
Yeah.
You got so many other things to do. Talk to Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley. I want to talk about the efforts, Doctor, that BridgeValley are taking to help students that have West Virginia ties.
Oh, we're so excited about this, Dave. So our board realized that there could be any number of family circumstances. Your grandparents might be here, and maybe a family moved over to Kentucky or decided to go to Ohio, but the grandkids still really love West Virginia and might want to come back. Or you might have a family that's split and mom and dad live in two separate states. But what we've gone ahead and done is said that for anybody who has a parent or grandparent who's lived in West Virginia for at least a year, we'll give them in-state tuition at BridgeValley. We want people to move back to West Virginia. We want them to come to BridgeValley because we know students who graduate with us work in this area. So we felt like it was a really great incentive to get people to think about coming back to West Virginia, and it was something we could do to make it a little bit more affordable.
And anything we can do to get people either to come back to West Virginia, even if it was people, like you said, that had ties to West Virginia, like their grandparents were here, not necessarily
Maybe
West
they just
Virginia
visited in the summer and they were like, wow, we like it here.
Yeah, all right. It's good stuff.
Bring them back.
Yeah, please. And get them to stay for a while. Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley is here for Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. The Salango Law Light the Night, returning to Gomart Ballpark November 21st. It'll run through January 1st. Please get your tickets in advance by visiting dblightthenight.com. The college got some federal highway grants. What's that all about?
We did. And it was, so a year ago, we found out that we were shortlisted for a federal Department of Transportation grant, and it's taken some time to work through the process, but we just recently officially got announced that we're one of 16 colleges across the country that'll get highway grant dollars that'll help support our highway construction program. So we do a lot for anybody at the Department of Transportation who's doing bridge construction, highway construction. They come in and do associate's degrees with us. And so this allows us to open that up to more people and to really think about construction in some new ways.
I wanted to ask you, it appears now, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later on, that the government shutdown appears to be coming to an end.
I hope so.
Appears to. But you guys, you talked about this a little last time you were on, Casey. You guys are really ramping up your efforts, and they have been to help students that receive SNAP benefits.
That's right. We have 74 students at BridgeValley who are currently SNAP recipients, and we really want to make sure they get fed. So we've been partnering with local food banks. We have our own food pantry on campus called The Nest, and we're really trying to do any kind of community outreach we can to make sure those people have enough food. It's so important. This is a group of folks who are going to school. They're trying to do better for their families. And it's not just the 74 students. They represent a whole family. So you could multiply it by 2 or by 5 or by 8. I know we have one family that is a young man. He is the person who's providing for his family, and he's currently going to school, and there's 8 of them.
Wow.
And so really thinking about that, these are people who live in our community and who need our help.
And look, I will say this, and we all know that there's fraud and abuse in every system. However, when you hear stories like that, and you think these are, and the majority or a great number of people that do receive SNAP benefits are working, a great number of them.
These are going to school, and some of them also have jobs.
And these are going. That's what I was going to say. These are going to school, and in many places. So they're trying to better themselves.
They are.
And I think that that pantry that you have there is awesome. I mean, how long has that been around?
Well, I started in 21, and it was there when I got there, so I can't take credit for that one.
Okay, well, it's still a great program. You have a new name on campus, a new vice president for academics.
We do. She's wonderful. So Dr. Christina Johnson, she's local. She's up from Golly Bridge area, and she's been with the college for years and years. She was with Tech, then with Bridgemont, then with BridgeValley, and has been a dean and taught science. Lots of people listening today may have had her as a science teacher at some point. But she's going to be our new vice president for academics. We're super excited. Dr. Suzette Breeden is retiring in January. So we are sad that she's retiring, but excited that Dr. Johnson will be joining us.
What exactly are the duties of the vice president for academics?
A lot of it is campus supervision. They supervise every single academic program. So it's all of the deans, all of the faculty, any of the things that happen in a classroom. That's her purview.
Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. So great to be here.
Thanks a lot. We'll talk again probably later this month, and I want to hook you up with Stephanie so we can talk about this veterans thing for later today.
Great.
We're always planning.
Thanks, Dave.
Wheels are always turning. And
I'm so glad.
They sometimes, turn slowly, but they're frequently
turning. That's all we can hope for.
Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley, thanks a lot. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Pinnacle offers a 4-phase assessment for your properties: inspection, sampling, and analysis, comprehensive reporting, and management planning. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't leave. All right. Got a question here for you. Are you ready? Somebody just texted in a question. You ever considered a shuttle bus or possibly a carpool of some sort for those who want to come to school but don't have access to a vehicle and live in a very rural area?
Yeah, we've tried.
You can sit down behind the microphone if you want. Yes. I mean, if you don't, is it something this is something that you would look at? So
we've tried carpools before. There were a variety of safety concerns, and so students can still do that, and we would encourage it.
Right. But it's not something that the college can necessarily.
That's right. We've talked about shuttle buses. It's been a thing that we instead really try and partner with KRT on. And I know that KRT has been trying to figure out how to do more of those on-demand routes for rural areas, because they're better equipped to run a shuttle bus than we are.
Gotcha.
So it's constantly a work in progress. Sean's wonderful. I know he's been on before too.
Sean Hill, yeah.
And has been really committed to trying to figure out how to get more rural access. But it's such a great question.
All right. So now you have two things that you got to get an ROTC program and have that wrapped up when you come back on later this month. Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley. It's 9:20. We'll take a break. Coming back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
Hi, I'm David McCormick, owner of Omega Commercial Interiors. We'd like to thank you, West Virginia, for making us the #1 office furniture and commercial interiors company in West Virginia. Remember, when you're looking for quality office furniture and space planning for healthcare, corporate offices, or even a private office, call us and buy local. Omega Commercial Interiors. We're a proud West Virginia company. Visit us online at omegacommercialinteriors.com in Morgantown and Charleston.
All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Construction.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:22. Stephanie Pauly is our producer today. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, hire Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Coming up later today, Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barrett and me, powered by Salango Law. Of course, we're going to continue monitoring the situation with that coal miner in Nicholas County. It's Veterans Day, so we have a few things related to that, including the grandson of Woody Williams is going to be on the show today. There's a big commemoration for Mr. Williams in Huntington going on today. We're going to talk to his grandson about that. And, of course, Open Line, West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me coming up at noon today. On the show tomorrow, Kanawha County Commission President Ben Salango will stop by. Brian Poore, the head basketball coach at West Virginia State, is here, and Jason Quintrell from Union Mission. We're going to have to put a little bullet point beside that, because I understand that talking to Jason this morning, he's a little under the weather right now, and so we're going to do his interview by phone and hope that his voice holds out. That is the plan coming up on tomorrow's show. Let me welcome in now Dr. Craig Glover, Family Care Health Centers. Good morning, and welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. All right, first, explain the concept of the Family Care Health Centers for those who may not be familiar with it.
Sure. So Family Care Health Center, we're providers of health care. We do everything from prenatal, and we have a birth center. We do traditional health care, primary care type things. We have an urgent care setting, and we now have a pharmacy.
That's what you're here to talk about, is this pharmacy. So
yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so we built a pharmacy in the St. Albans Loop. It's next door to our St. Albans location, which offers primary care and behavioral health and other services, as well as urgent care. So we created this pharmacy so that patients, family care patients, as well as folks in the community would have access to prescription drugs.
And that's what that was going to be my next question, was what went into coming up with this? Obviously, you saw a need for this.
We did see a need for it. So one, we wanted to make sure that people had access to the medications that they need. We participate in some federal programs that allow us to buy some drugs at a discount, and we're able to pass that discount along to our patients. So that was important for us. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes with drug manufacturers and how they distribute some of the medications to organizations like ours. So we also wanted to make sure we had more control over that process. And the best way for us to do that was to create a pharmacy in-house.
Indeed. We're talking to Dr. Craig Glover. And what kind of an undertaking was that for you folks? I mean, how difficult is that to come up with something like this?
There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of regulations around pharmacy and those types of things, but we were able to get through all of those. We had to build a building. So we were fortunate that we were able to do that as well.
So this is a new building you have?
It's a brand new facility.
Okay. And it's located at 12 Kanawha Terrace in St. Albans, right?
Right, exactly, in the St. Albans Loop.
In the Loop. Everybody in St. Albans knows about the Loop. And you're going to have a ribbon cutting, I understand, coming up Thursday, is that right?
Yes, Thursday at 10 a.m. We'll have a ribbon cutting, our official grand opening of that site, even though the site has been open for, I think we're now in week 3 today. So we had a soft opening, but official unveiling, presenting it to the public is on this coming Thursday at 10 a.m.
So we want to invite everybody to come out and check it out. You know, I'm sure you have tours of the facility, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe some refreshments and things like that.
Yep, we'll have all that.
All right, and you get a chance to, as I said, to ask questions. And, you know, there's the world of pharmacies, as you well know, has changed so much,
yes.
You know, the last couple of years. You know, I mean, 20 years ago, you got a prescription, you went to whomever, and, you know, your local pharmacy was a big deal. Mm-hmm. You know, you went in. It's not that way anymore. It's just a lot more complicated now.
Pharmacy is a very, very, very complicated process. There's so many things that go on in the back end that results in a patient walking out of a pharmacy with a bottle of pills. And so we've learned this over the past several years of where we fit into that continuum, if you will. And again, part of us creating a pharmacy is we're trying to simplify that for our patients. We don't want them to have to deal with all of the back end things that go into prescription medication management. And we just want them to be able to get the medication that they need at a price point that they can afford.
Indeed. And that's, and you guys, I mean, and I've had you and others on from your organization several times on the local show here, and you guys just do so much for the community. And one of the things I really like about you is whenever there's an event going on, you guys are there. I mean, when we do our activities here, we do Trick or Beat, and I'm just using that as an example, or we we do the backpack attack or whatever. Mm-hmm. You guys have always got a booth, and you're always willing to give back into the community, and that's something that goes with being local people. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a community health center, and I think of that word community as really as sort of a verb. I understand English. I know it's a noun, but we look at it as being a verb. We have to be out in our community. We want to be involved. We're partners. And we also don't want to be seen as we're just taking from the community. We want to be able to give back. So yes, we support things that happen in our community. We are a local organization. We're not part of some big national organization. We are from West Virginia. We're West Virginians. We employ West Virginians, and we want to support our community.
Talk about your average patient that comes in for, not necessarily for the pharmacy, but your health care. I mean, just you see it runs the gamut just to all walks of life?
It really does run the gamut of all walks of life. I would say our specialty, though, and one of our big focus is creating access to health care for underserved folks. So we do see people who are homeless. We see folks who are living in poverty. We accept Medicaid. We also work with folks who are totally uninsured. When we meet a new patient, we try to see, can we find coverage for you? Can we get you on Medicare or Medicaid? Can you buy a plan on the open exchange? If none of those works, we don't turn you away. We still see you. We offer our services on a sliding fee scale, which means we charge people based on what they can afford to pay.
And how often do you see patients like that, doctor?
We see them daily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we see them daily.
And so somebody, like I said, shows up and they've been a little bit, for sometimes no fault of their own. It's an economic situation. You said they could be homeless. They could be, or just woefully underpaid or whatever.
Or underinsured.
Underinsured. Take us through that process. I mean, I come in and I fall into one of those categories. Just take me through the process.
Yeah, so you come in. First thing is we will connect you with someone in our eligibility department. They're specialists in getting people enrolled in Medicaid, Medicare, purchasing plans on the exchange. So we try to go through those options to see, can we find you some level of coverage? And if we can, great, we'll get you enrolled, we'll get you an appointment. But if we can't, then we assess your income, family size, and then we tell you what your charge will be for the service. For some of our folks, we charge them a nominal fee, which is $25 for a visit. And for them, they come in, they pay $25. Maybe they had a visit that had a value of $500. You pay $20. We stamp your bill, paid in full, and you keep going.
It is an amazing business model, but it's not just a business model, Dr. Glover. It's much more than that. It's helping people.
Absolutely. Our whole thing, our mission is about helping people and creating healthy communities.
That's what the whole goal is. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership. Ask about their X-Plan discount pricing on the purchase of every new Ford. They're also offering 130% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value for your vehicle. Visit today off the Hurricane exit or online at generationsford.com. It's generationsford.com, one destination for every generation. That is the motto, Generations Ford. See dealer for all the details. Talking to Dr. Craig Glover, Family Care Health Centers. Again, we'll get back to the pharmacy for a moment. 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. That is the ribbon cutting. Well, you said you've been open for a couple of weeks. What's the response been in your sort of soft opening, I guess? Or has it even been a soft opening?
It's been a soft opening. We started on the first day. We saw a few people. Every day we get a few more people that come in. The other thing I want to stress is our pharmacy is not just for our existing patients. It's a community pharmacy. So if you live close to our pharmacy location, but maybe your provider is outside of the family care network, you're still welcome to bring your prescriptions to us. So we see everyone.
And that's the whole goal. All right. So again, it's 10 a.m. Thursday morning, 12 Canal Terrace in St. Albans, right there in the Loop. You got a ribbon cutting, you got facility tours, and it'd be a great opportunity for the public to just show up and find out what it's all about. And of course, you're all over social media, and you got a website and so on and so forth. So it's not hard to find information. Keep doing great things in the community.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Craig Glover, again, from Family Healthcare Centers, that ribbon cutting for the new pharmacy in St. Albans, brand new building, 10 a.m. on Thursday, 12 Kanawha Terrace, St. Albans. Come out and tour the facility, find out what it is all about. We got about 22 minutes now before 10 o'clock. Rick Cavender from Charleston Urban Works is going to join us here momentarily. I do want to mention this. Today is Veterans Day. And now it is our turn to give back with words that matter. And I got a call to action, as we call it in the business for you. What I want you to do at some point is I want you to call our text line number. And I know that sounds weird, okay? Call the text line number, 304-935-5008. And when you do that, there's a prompt that you can record a message of thanks for a veteran that you love. And we're going to take those, put them all together, and share them throughout the month as part of our Salute to Veterans presented by Toyota Motor Manufacturing of West Virginia. Now, you can also go to the website, WCHSnetwork.com, submit your stories there, and let your gratitude be heard, not just today on Veterans Day, but all month long here on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS. Big shout out to the folks of Toyota Motor Manufacturing of West Virginia for making that possible. We're going to take a break. Charleston Urban Works getting ready for an awards ceremony tomorrow night. It'll be held at the Women's Club here in Charleston. I'm going to talk to Rick Cavender when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just build us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey guys, Dave Allen here for the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership. With construction underway and new Fords hitting the lot every day, we're providing our customers with X-Plan discount pricing on the purchase of any and every new Ford. This means you pay what Ford suppliers pay. On top of these market-only discounts, we're also offering 130% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade Value for your vehicle. Visit us today off the Hurricane exit or online at generationsford.com. One destination for every generation. Generations Ford. See dealer for details. Welcome back to the show. 25 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Stephanie Pauley is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Ava Dave Allen Show and 580 Live brought to you in part by Fresh Air Filters of Tays Valley. Fresh Air is your trusted filter experts for both your home or business. 304-440-1104 or check out freshairfilters.us. Because everyone deserves fresh air. Welcome into the show now, our good buddy Rick Cavender from Charleston Urban Works. How you doing, man?
Good morning, sir. How you been?
I am doing fine. I'm back here. I forget you've got that big booming voice, man.
Yeah, is it? I've been told that before. Is this a thing?
I'm a radio guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah.
I'd like to have your voice.
Really?
You got a much better voice than
that. From you. That is a compliment.
Well, I mean,
and I don't get those from you often.
we go way back. We don't have to compliment each other. But
I appreciate that.
No, you know, actually, you have a really good voice.
Well, thank you.
Would you like to do a radio show?
I would love that.
I'm just
in another life.
I'm just saying
because I have so much time.
Well, just come on over here now.
Yeah. See you, Dave.
Take on the rest of the day. All right. So you got this awards thing tomorrow night, the Urbanite
Urbanite Awards. Yeah, and like we've been talking about all morning, is this is the first time we've had sponsors every year, but certainly we've expanded those sponsorships through media partnerships for this. And so, a lot of folks, if they're outside of the circle, if you will, they may not have heard of our Urbanite Awards, but this is actually our 9th year that we've done these awards. They're always in November. It's always sort of a wrap up of the year, a celebration of the year, and it's solely focused on the business owners, the employees, the property owners, civic leaders, artists, and volunteers that we want to shine a spotlight on on them, the folks that have really helped move our mission along as an organization and breathe new life into these urban districts here in Charleston. So, we give awards in 8 categories. I can tell you that our fellow leadership West Virginia classmate, Mayor Amy Schuler-Goodwin, will be presenting our big award of the night, the Urban Night of the Year award, to our surprise honoree. And
I like that. It's a surprise. He or she or the group, whatever, doesn't know that
no
they're
idea.
getting an award.
Most of our recipients don't know. We have a few that do, but most of them don't. We've been
How difficult is that?
It's a lot of work.
Okay. And the reason I say that is because we think, from somebody who comes from a small town like I do, I consider Charleston to be a big town, but it's really not. And everybody kind of knows everybody and so on and so forth. And so if you have the ability to be able to keep that quiet, that's pretty good.
Yeah. For me, it's a lot of fun. We stay so busy throughout the year, fulfilling our mission, whether that's through our events that we do, through our public space enhancement projects, through our programming, our shop local initiatives, all the things we do as an organization. We stay so busy that for us at the end of the year, for our board and our staff to be able to turn around and thank and congratulate and shine a spotlight on these folks who have made our work so enjoyable and rewarding, frankly, is really a treat for us. So that's one reason why I think we love these awards so much.
So how do you go about choosing who gets the award?
It's a great question. We take we unofficially take nominations just from our board members and people in the public throughout the year, and then we have a selection committee comprised of our working group and board members that meet, and they sort of assess all those nominations in the 8 categories that the Urban Night Awards are presented in. And they make their decision. We have a committee that does that, and they represent every sort of facet of the city of Charleston as far as different professions, different backgrounds, as far as where they live geographically. It's a really good, well-rounded, diverse group of people that help us pick these awards.
And talk about those categories.
Yeah. So the first award of the evening is the Rookie of the Year award. So that's a business that's been in operation for a year or less. The second award is the Game Changer Award, and that's business or property owners who are making lasting impact throughout the districts. The next award is the Urbaneer, which is the Urban Pioneer Award, and that's given to businesses that are in operation for 10 years or more that sort of blaze the trail for those who have come after them. The next is the Employee of the Year Award, which is one of my favorites because we get to honor sort of the frontline staff, and that's the baristas, the bartenders, the servers, the folks working behind the counter at your favorite retail shop. And we get to honor a few of those folks, which is always a lot of fun. And those are always a surprise. The next is the Urban Artist Award. So that's not just visual art, but also, entertainers, musical entertainers, photographers. It runs the gamut. And those are the people who devote their talent to making our district stronger. The next is the Urban Service Award, and that's our Volunteer of the Year Award, which is always just a really sometimes emotional award that we give out because these are the folks who are dedicating so much of their own time, usually at no cost to anybody else. They do it out of the goodness of their heart, and so we want to recognize those folks who not only help our organization but other nonprofits and other groups in the Valley. Our Urban Leadership Award is our civic leader that we honor every year. This year's recipient is really special. We're really excited about it. And then, of course, as I mentioned, Mayor Goodwin will be announcing who the Urban Night of the Year is. And that's the person who sort of encompasses all of the award categories, if you will. So, this event's going 9 years strong. Again, this is definitely the biggest year yet. We are sold out. The event itself in person has been sold out now for a couple weeks.
And it's at the Women's Club, right?
At the Women's Club,
okay.
Yes. Tomorrow night, Wednesday at 6:00. But no worries, though. It is sold out, but we are, through a partnership through WCHS Eyewitness News, we are going to be live streaming them to their Facebook page and to our Facebook page. So if you tune in tomorrow to the WCHS Eyewitness News Facebook page at 6:00, you'll be able to watch the awards live in their entirety. And they'll, of course, be archived after that to watch later. But we're giving everybody a chance to watch, even if you can't be there in person.
And I've said before, Rick, and you know this, we're talking to Rick Cavender from Charleston Urban Works. I mean, Charleston has got such a great network of people that come out to do these things, to pull these things out. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be during the holiday season. It could be, things like the big events that you think about, like the things that you guys put on, or regatta, or what the pro road championships, or any of those things. But it's a lot of smaller things that maybe don't get the headlines. That you got a great network of people that just step up and say, hey, "I'm going to be there." I mean, I did an event Saturday at Capitol Market, and you have volunteers for that. It was a fundraiser, the Biscuits and Gravy Bowl. Yeah. Okay, but we had a lot of people that are just there just to help. And I say that because anytime there's something going on in Charleston and really the Kanawha Valley, you get that great network of people that all come together and kind of help out.
And I can tell you, in my experience in this role in its different capacities over the past 18 years, those folks aren't doing it to be seen or to say they were there. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because they know the importance of service. And, I've worked with so many volunteers over the years, and I count myself really lucky to have worked with so many volunteers over the years, and it's taught me so much. I get paid to do this work. I'm the executive director. I'm staff, right? And of course, I have my own passions as it relates to urban economic community development and just being involved in your community, certainly. But working with so many of those folks who just do it out of the goodness of their heart, they get up on a Saturday morning at 7:00 and go help unload trucks and set up registration tents and pour beer, for instance, on our events. I mean, the list goes on. Working with all those folks is not only inspiring, but it's taught me a lot, in my career over the past 18 years. So, again, this is just one way through our Urban Night Awards that we showcase that and we say thank you. So we're really excited about it.
Talking to Rick Cavender here for Charleston Urban Works. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza, where this month you can get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie, $23.99. Find your nearest Huston's Pizza for delivery, dine in, or pick up at HustonsPizza.com. Now, I do want to throw this out there. Some of the advertising says that the event is going to be emceed by Woody Woods from The Beat and Logan Scott from V100. Logan, sadly, had a death in his family, so I've been pressed into duty tomorrow night. So
you are one of our announcers.
You're stuck with me tomorrow night.
It's come full circle after 10 years of friendship, Dave. You and I are finally both going to be on microphones at the same event. But I'm excited. This is the new addition to our Urban Night Awards. I'm glad you mentioned that. We did this one other time, but this is the first time we've had on-air personalities doing this, where think of like the Oscars. Whenever the winner's name is announced from stage, music starts playing immediately. We have announcers sort of give like a short bio about that winner and sort of like how they started their business, or how they came to Charleston, whatever the case is. And so you're going to learn something about each of these winners from you and Woody as they're walking to stage to get their awards, which I think is going to add something really kind of cool to it.
Now, you are feeding me tomorrow night, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm surprised that wasn't your first question. But no, Kel's Tavern is actually the caterer.
Who was that? I'm sorry?
Kel's Tavern, the new business in Elk City, is catering.
Yeah, I actually had a chance to run in there when we were doing the October West event, because we were down there and we had a little bit of time, and myself and Animal. I mean, I may not be allowed back in because I was with Animal and Steve Animal and Shockley, so I may not be allowed back in.
No, we already had that conversation earlier. Yeah. I'll be surprised if they'll let you back in. But no, they're catering. We have an open bar, of course, and full catering there. So your belly should be full by the end of the night.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you, look, it is it's a testament, I think, that organizations like yours want to recognize people. And again, these categories and things that you have, these are not people that are asking for recognition.
No.
I mean, many times, I don't know how it's been in the past, but I would imagine over the last few years you've been doing this, somebody probably said, really? Me?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
We've had
Why?
It's always fun to watch their surprise, like their face when they realize they've been honored. And they're always surprised, but some people have said, like, what, why? Like, I remember, not to throw her name out there, but I know she won't mind, but Councilwoman Mary Jean Davis, she had gotten one of our Urban Leadership Awards the very first year we did this, and she was the only one in the room who was shocked. Everybody else assumed it was her because she embodies everything that when you think of the word leadership. But she herself was like, really, me? This could have went to someone else. And I'm like, of course, Mary Jean says that. But yeah, it runs a gamut with the responses. But no matter what, it's a happy evening. I'll say that. So.
Well, while we have you here, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up once you get this behind you. This is your big thing right now. But once you get this behind you, we're full on into the holiday season.
Yeah.
And if you look outside, what started yesterday morning and continues with the snow on the ground, it's going to be all gone by the end of the week. But that may put some people in a bit of a Christmas spirit. I know Charleston Urban Works, you go above and beyond all year long, but especially during the holiday season. There'll be a lot of exciting things going on.
Yeah, so I mean, we haven't done anything like directly holiday related for a while because there's such a strong presence with Holly Jolly Broadly, and the Downtown Charleston Association does such an incredible job with that, and it draws so many people to downtown, and it's just such an incredible event and time of year. We do want to make sure that we're spending some time focusing on Small Business Saturday.
That's what I want. That's kind of what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. Not necessarily activities, but aiding these businesses, especially like on the Saturday after Thanksgiving on Small Business Saturday.
Yeah, and we'll be making a couple announcements about that throughout the evening during the Urban Night Awards tomorrow night, actually, about some of our initiatives as it relates to our Shop Local programs, mainly our Passport debit card program, which we're going to be pushing out there more than ever here in the next in the coming months. And a lot of our promotion, especially with Small Business Saturday, will be centered around, encouraging people to get their Passport debit card from Element Federal Credit Union so they can start, getting the 2% cashback benefits that they get every time they swipe their card.
You've done this the last couple of years, but explain how it works.
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. You become a member of Element Federal Credit Union. You choose to get the Passport debit card, the Charleston Urban Works Passport card. Our logo's on it, on your actual debit card. Anytime you swipe that card at any of our district businesses, and keep in mind, we've just expanded into Canal City, and by the beginning of the calendar year, we will have added all of the Canal City businesses to this list. Anytime you swipe your card at any of those businesses, East End, West Side, we've included downtown as well, and now Canal City soon, you automatically get 2% cash back on every purchase, which is typically something you just see on a credit card, right? But this is a pretty unique program in that it's a debit card. All you have to have is an account with Element, become a member of theirs, get that debit card, and you immediately start getting those benefits and experiencing that savings. This is a really easy and effective way to encourage folks to make the decision to shop local versus maybe making the decision to go to a box store, right? Yeah. And so we're going to be a big marketing campaign surrounding that. We're going to be pushing that really heavily over the next few months. You'll hear more about it at the Urban Night Awards tomorrow.
And, of course, we'll have you on the air. Definitely want to have you on maybe before Small Business Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be great.
To come in and talk about it. All right, so since the event tomorrow night at the Women's Club is sold out, give us the information where people can watch online again.
Yes, in the palm of your hand. If you go to the WCHS Eyewitness News Facebook page, it'll be shared to the Charleston Urban Works Facebook page as well. You can start watching the awards live right at 6 o'clock, streaming from the Women's Club. So please join us online if you're not able to make it to the live, if you already haven't gotten your RSVP, which, again, we are sold out. So please join us online tomorrow starting at 6 o'clock.
All right. Rick Cavender, Charleston Urban Works. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Always, Dave. I appreciate you.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
All right.
All right. It's 11 minutes away from 10. Rest of the show is yours. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text, 304-935-5008. We'll take a break. Come back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Huracan, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of businesses.
At Toyota, supporting our nation's heroes isn't just a promise, it's a purpose. Through the Toyota Veterans Association, over 1,500 members nationwide provide mentorship, advocacy, and career pathways for veterans transitioning from service to success. Right here in West Virginia, Toyota proudly honors our fallen through the Gold Star Mother's Apple Orchard, a living memorial for reflection and remembrance. And our commitment continues, supporting local heroes, families, and foundations that make our communities stronger. Toyota, driven to serve those who served us.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
The high school football playoffs are underway. Get coverage with live and archived games, top plays, and in-depth analysis from Joe Mercado and Greg Carey. Plus our exclusive new interview series, State of Mind, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Metro News Television is powered by Dan Cava GMC, Gomart, Lou Wendell Marine, Stike Wealth Enhancement, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and Poca Valley.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Welcome back to the show. It's 8 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine, a podcast that promotes healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetroNews.com, under the podcast menu. Get started today. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-500. I do want to remind you that, again, and we've talked about this, that it does look like last night the Senate passed a package to reopen the federal government, day 42, in case you're keeping track at home, and it does look like it's going to go through. I do want to say, though, that the need is still going to be there, okay? Even if it comes, everything ends back to normal at 9:53 this morning, it's going to be a while getting everybody caught up. And if you go to our website, WVMetroNews.com, there's a QR code on there. And you can donate to Facing Hunger Food Banks or Mountaineer Food Bank simply by scanning that QR code. Now, look, those are two wonderful organizations that even before there was even talk of a government shutdown, were doing great things. So Mountaineer Food Bank and Facing Hunger Food Bank, you can go because the need's going to be there. Even when the government reopens, the need is always there. It's there year round. For folks that are food insecure, WVMetroNews.com. That's our website. You know that by now. There's a QR code. You can scan that, make your donations directly to Facing Hunger Food Bank or the Mountaineer Food Bank. WVRC Media cares about the community. Now, back to the opening. Jeff Jenkins has a story posted about it at WVMetroNews.com. Senators Shelley Moore Capito and Jim Justice, of course, both voted for ending it, and both put out statements that are contained as part of Jeff's stories. So now I think we sit back and wait. I know the Talkline boys were efforting to get Senator Justice on today. I do know for a fact that Senator Capito will be on the show on Talkline tomorrow at 10:06, so it'll be interesting to get their take on it. I don't imagine that the take of either one of them is going to be very different than what we've heard in the past. But both did this. Of course, there had to be some crossover, if you will, from some Democrats. 8, I think it was, that crossed over to support it. So that's where it is right now. And again, my editorial comment here, my only thing has been all along, and I hate that all these people were suffered because of the government shutdown, whether it was folks on SNAP benefits or whether it was the military or federal workers or so on and so forth. But and you've heard me say it before, we got to get serious about this national debt. And the only difference in my mind between the Republicans and the Democrats right now is that the Democrats want to add more national debt, a couple of trillion more than what the Republicans do. So you're not going to hear me beating the drum for the Republican Party on that, because they, GOP, I'm talking to you, have got to get serious about this national debt. And the only difference between the two parties right now, again, editorial comment, my opinion, is the amount of money that they want to add to the federal debt and the number of trillions. It's a couple of more $1 trillion the Democrats want to add, but the Republicans are just behind them. Brad McElhenney has a story posted on the website, WVMetroNews.com. Judge Richard Lindsay here in Kanawha County has denied a preliminary injunction and dismissed the case as to whether the governor has the authority to deploy the National Guard from West Virginia to go serve on the streets of the nation's capital. Well, apparently, according to Judge Lindsay, he does have that authority. Now, there was a lawsuit. Aubrey Sparks from the ACLU was part of this lawsuit and went before Judge Richard Lindsay yesterday. And according to Judge Lindsay and his interpretation of the law, which is what matters, Brad, and the governor has every right to do that. And so the story's posted about WVMetroNews.com. I mean, it could be refiled, from what I understand, at a later point. But that is where it is right now. If you were out traveling last night, I know I left the station a little bit earlier than I normally do yesterday, around 3:30 or so. A little difficult on my commute back to Tays Valley, not because the roads were slick, but just because it was near whiteout conditions and you just couldn't see anything. And then it got progressively worse as the night went on. I left my house this morning a little bit earlier. I left a little bit, before 7 or so this morning, and it was a little slow going coming in from Putnam County, but not nearly as bad. I said this earlier. The roads, I think, were a lot better 6 or 7 a.m. this morning than what they were at 7 p.m. last night. Interstate 64, for the most part, was fine. The off-ramps getting off Virginia Street was a little slick. However, I will say we had reports from one of our own here that the area out on the Childress Road was very, very slick. And talked to a family member of mine who lives in the hometown area of Putnam County, and they got about 6 inches of snow over there. And he reported via my wife this morning that that Route 34 connecting Hurricane or Taze Valley area to Winfield was extremely slick even this morning, and that there were cars and ditches and so on and so forth. That wasn't what I encountered this morning coming in, but it is going to get a lot better. Just before the show, I actually walked out and looked. We got sunshine out there right now. This is one of those freak things that normally doesn't happen, in November, but it's the weather, and what you going to do about the weather? Everybody talks about it, as the old saying goes, but nobody does anything about it. It is going to get much, much better, though, as we go on. I mean, we're going to be approaching 70 by the end of the week, but it's still fall, so we're just getting into the wintertime season. There's going to be more snow and so on and so forth, so, ain't much you can do about it. I want to close with this. Today is Veterans Day, and longtime listeners of this show, and I've been doing this show for 5 years now, will know that I have a very, very special place in my heart for veterans. My dad he passed away in 2014 of complications from Agent Orange that he contracted in Vietnam. And, for many folks, it's a day off today. Some offices are closed, schools are closed, so on and so forth. But just remember why it is that I'm allowed to get on this radio to talk like I do and give opinions and so on and so forth, and other folks on this. We're allowed to do this because of the service that our veterans have given to this country. Many of them died for this country. As you well know, West Virginia lost more people per capita than any other state in the Union. So just as you go about your day to day, and maybe, I know there's a big veterans parade in Charleston, starts at 11 o'clock this morning. Our sister station, 96.1 KWS, Rob Reel, morning guy over there, who is a veteran himself, is going to be taking part in that parade. Just remember why it is that we do the things we do and why we're allowed to do the things we do, and it's because of our veterans. Thank you so much. All right, got to go. Wilson and Meadows coming up on Talk Line at 10:06. I'll be back later today with Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron. We'll see you then. Till then, have fun. Love somebody.